everyone. Welcome to another week of Soulfully Guided. I'm your host, Carmel-Anne. And I want to say, well, first of all, a huge thank you to Kelly, our former host, who always introduces me and welcomes me in as she's closing her show. Thank you. That means the world to me. A huge shout out to A1R Psychic Radio Moonstruck TV for having me. And if anyone's noticed, I took 2 weeks off. I was sick. And just in the background, waking up to beautiful messages from our executive producer and everything that goes on the scenes and behind the scenes as well to keep us hosts happy. Now, today we're going to go into a call-up, but I really want to do a special shout-out. So here in Australia, it is the school holidays, and two of my most favourite people in the world are tuned in watching the show. So my husband is watching and my beautiful eldest daughter, Alex. So hello, Alex. Mummy loves you very much, and I hope you'd like my show. It's really hard having the youngest in daycare with the eldest home, and it's it would be nice to have the little one home too, but we can't disrupt her schedule or her social life. So we are going to go into a call-up, but 3 weeks ago, I mentioned that I was going to talk about spiritual awakenings. We are going to touch on that, but might need a little bit more time than a quick rushed session. Part of growing spiritually and opening up does call for awakenings. Blessings to everyone that has an easy time waking up and opening their third eye. However, for some like me, I struggled for a whole year. I cried while I was mourning my old self and basically making way for the new, better version of me to come through. So that was a really challenging time. What I am doing is, for anyone that is interested in studying tarot, I recommend having someone. Oh, we have Sarah. Hi, Sarah from Montana.
Hi.
Hello. Welcome to the show. Bear with me just 1 sec. So I'm going to introduce to everyone who's interested in studying tarot. I'm doing my early bird discounts, and I've finally put together some courses, a beginner, intermediate and advanced. So if you're interested, they start in August. Reach out to our social media or our website, soulfullyguided.com, and I'll be able to help with any inquiries or bookings. Now, Sarah, welcome.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Now, I'm a tarot reader. I would love to do your reading on the show. Do you have a question or something you'd like to ask about?
I do, actually. I'm having issues with my work.
Yep. Okay. Now, do you want to do a general read? Do you want to ask how to deal with the issue? Is there, while I have you here, is there something specific that you really want to know?
If it's the right place for me.
Okay, let's look at this. So, is Sarah's current workplace the right place for her? Now, I'm going to be a bit cheeky and chuck in some advice and guidance, and also a general look at what does it look like if you move on to another workplace. Nothing specific. Would you like me to add those in?
Yes, please. That'd be great.
Okay, so is this the right workplace for Sarah? What's an outcome card, please? Can I have an outcome card? So I'm just pulling the cards. Can I have some advice and guidance? What does it look like if you leave? Okay. Okay. So I'm going to go through this. If it was a private reading or we had more time, I would love to explore how to tackle these issues at work in further detail, because I feel there's like some erratic mentality, rushing, and sort of things don't feel stable or settled either. Does that resonate with you at all?
Yes.
It's actually a very uncomfortable feeling, and it is quite irrational on the workplace's behalf. So what I would like you to do is, rather than think you need to shift jobs, because ultimately the outcome is looking good, but you're in the heart of the challenges right now, and that's where I'd love, if not with me or even another reader, to explore how to combat this time in your workplace to give you just some relief and some feeling less stressed. um, I think when you're outside of your workplace, the best you can do is get your mind off it, switch off your body and your mind. And I know there's other responsibilities outside of work, but you really need to use your outside of work time to really recuperate your body so you can sort of get back into it the next day, which is, really challenging to do. And you are in the heart of the problem. Looking at the workplace as it is now, seems like no one's seeing eye to eye. No one's even listening to each other. It is a very challenging place. People are all trying to get their version or their, minds, the way that everyone's talking, but no one's listening. And it is in the heart of the problems. When we do look at this, though, I think the outcome looks really favorable, that it's financially rewarding, and you'll sort of be in a better place. And I think part of that is not giving in to anything that's going on in work, trying to do your own thing and finding your own way to switch off from other people's BS, if I say. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I really want to stress the outcome card is good, which means if you were to leave because of this erratic and instability and uncertain time at work, I would probably feel like you felt hard done by, and it probably wouldn't give you the answers or what you're looking for. I think you'd be quite exhausted, and you might be thinking, oh, I'm still, it's still not 100%. I think the outcome of staying where you are for the moment looks better than rushing off to another workplace. You might get a bit of a shock factor there. So stick it out, but I would explore how to deal with it better if you can. If we've got time, I will try. I think as a person, you're very competent and you're very capable. You will make things work. And that's probably why it's a struggle for you at the workplace, because there's no seeing rationality or logic. It's actually quite hard to be reasonable with people. There's also an emotional imbalance, and it's quite exhausting. So rather than looking at just one way to solve a problem or to look at something, there are many other options available to you that you might be blinded to because there's so much noise around you in the workplace. I would recommend looking at other alternatives and options and approaches to things that sort of pique your interest and, get that spark back into you. How do you feel about that?
I think that you are just absolutely 100% dead on. and and you're saying what I'm thinking. I'm trying to come up with new approaches to solving the issues. It's a bunch of family working together that fight and drink and that own a bar. So I'm
Okay.
yeah. So I'm trying to figure out how to get us all on the same page and we all love each other, but listen.
I think it's like there's no look. The funny thing about it is there's no toxicity. Look. It's not even showing stubbornness. It's like you're just so capable and competent, and this is not something you'd usually deal with because you solve it before it gets to this point. But no one is listening. Like there's no rationality or practicality, and yeah, it will get better. But
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I will
now
stick
that you
with
say
it,
it's
and I will, yeah.
Now that you say it's family, it's quite funny. I'm sorry to say it's yeah. It, I see how it's come up that way.
It's actually not even my family. It's my son's father's family, and we haven't been together for 17 years. So I work for them.
Wow.
And so,
You got to take charge.
It's a whole other mess too.
Oh, yeah.
We all love each other so much. We're all very close, and we all, when it gets down to it, we all love each other so much. But like you said, everyone is talking and nobody's listening.
So I think to deal with this, I've just put a few cards. Sometimes we need to slow down, like instead of just someone saying anything, to try and just think before we speak, use our logic and our practicality, be rational, don't be a radical, rush into decisions or, conflict and, rush resolutions that are, a bucket on a Band-Aid sort of a fix. And you all have to act as a team and be mentally strong to be able to be emotionally there for each other as well.
I agree.
I have had so much. Yeah, I've had a great experience, Sarah, reading for you. Thank you for letting me in. Our show is almost over, so thanks for coming through with this and this personal topic. I hope it doesn't. Thank you so much. You are so welcome. It's been a pleasure. You're welcome to call the show or the network anytime for a reading.
Awesome. Thank you.
To everyone else, we'll see you next week for another show, and I'll touch on some spiritual awakening, the pros and the cons, and the challenges, which is not always a fun experience, but a well worth it one. Thank you, everyone.